The headlines this morning: state government begins road rehabilitation in Okpoko. Over 50 structures at Umupu Timber Market marked for breach of master plan. Federal government identifies shortage of gas supply as obstacle to electricity generation target. And a foreign scene this morning: US to roll out new COVID-19 vaccine against Omicron. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning to you and welcome to the news. I am Ebere Ugonna. Anambra State Executive Council has approved the rehabilitation of 9 roads in Oboko-Obaro local government area. According to a post-executive council meeting press release signed by the State Commissioner for Information, Mr. Paul Mosu, said the roads measuring 14.053 kilometers with dual carriage, reinforced concrete median and sidewalks on both sides will cost 4.9 billion naira and will be completed in 12 months. The release stated that the projects are the fulfillment of Governor Chukwuma Soludo's campaign promise to immediately commence the urban regeneration of Oboko slum in Obaro local government area. The release also stated that the council approved the full-scale desilting and dredging of 62,034 cubic meters of Wangana drainage, which has been a source of nightmare to road users at the cost of 241,439,316.29 naira and will be completed in 3 months, while the rehabilitation of the field carriageway and embankment at Mili John section of Obao-Jota Road, the dredging of Mili John was equally approved by the council for at the cost of 61,494,541.88 naira and is expected to be completed in 6 weeks. It disclosed that following a memo on the abandoned government house and 25 other peripheral structures presented by the Commissioner for Housing and considered by ANSEC, the project will cost 6.088 billion naira and completed within 18 months was approved by the council. The release stated that the council also endorsed for construction of gatehouses, police posts, perimeter fence measuring 2.22 linear kilometers, and other internal works such as driveways, parking areas, walkways, drainages, water supplies, green area, among others, at the cost of 1.317 billion naira and will be delivered in 9 months. Far beyond the beauty trees gives the environment, Rotary Club of Awka GRA, in collaboration with Green Environment and Climate Change Initiative, has advocated for more tree planting in Nigerian societies for its environmental, health and economic benefits. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibata reports that the groups made the advocacy while planting over 30 economic and beautification trees at the premises of Anambra Broadcasting Service Corporate Headquarters in Awka. His report.
Shovel. What of the water? Spread the banner, please.
Speaking during the exercise, which attracted staff of ABS and members of Rotary International, the president of Rotary Club of Awka GRA, Rotarian Elvis Amadi, disclosed that the tree planting exercise is one of the focus of Rotary International, as trees contribute to the environment by providing oxygen, improving air quality and solving environmental problems such as reducing erosion. Explaining the need for tree planting across organizations, institutions and families, Rotarian Amadi said the exercise was part of efforts to strengthen relationship with ABS and thanked the managing director Sachido Obidiegu for the approval.
We are planting guava, we are planted pears, oranges and other economic trees. And the most important of it is the health benefit. If you talk about oxygen and the carbon cycle, you know, tree plays a major role. Human beings make use of oxygen because our body cells need oxygen for its survival. And we release carbon dioxide as a waste product, while plant makes use of the carbon dioxide and release oxygen as a waste product.
According to the founder, Green Environment and Climate Change Initiative, Ms. Mmashuku Obimdike, the environmental dangers facing Nigeria today are enormous and called on Nigerians to shun deforestation and embrace mass afforestation to protect the environment by planting trees in homes, neighborhoods, schools, religious premises, farms, hospitals, offices, among others.
It's remarkable to plant to sustain like to have what we will use today and to leave some for our children tomorrow. Because if any parent loves his or her child and wants a better life for that child, he would make sure that he has everything he or she needs to live better.
Reacting, Sashido said the exercise will complement the state government's effort in line with the goal of planting over 2 million economic trees in 2022, thanking the groups for the initiative. He explained that by tree planting, the effect of flood and erosion will be mitigated.
What we're doing is also in tandem with one of the cardinal points in the agenda of Mr. Governor Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, who has said that in the budget is provided that we are going to plant 2 million trees in 2022, and these trees have already been procured. And these are economic trees, palm trees and coconut trees. As we speak, they are being distributed all over the state. So I think Rotary is thinking alongside also with the government of Anambra State.
Members of Board of Management of ABS, including the Director, News and Current Affairs Department of ABS, Mr. Gabe Abaleze, and a one-time Managing Director of the establishment and past Rotary Club President, Sir Amobi Adreka, were present at the tree planting exercise. Emmanuel Shubata for ABS News.
Anambra State government has marked over 50 structures at Umuwalker Timber Market over breach of master plan and absence of approval plans. This came after a combined team from the Anambra State Ministry of Commerce and Industry and Awka Capital Territory Development Authority, AGDA, visited the market following a reliable tip-off. Correspondent Daniel Ezigwe has details of the report.
Marked structures, according to valid sources, were allegedly erected through shady deals involving the market's leadership. These moves, according to local regulatory agencies, were neither authorized nor followed development procedures contained in the master plan for the market. Speaking after the team had toured the market, the Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Dr. Obinna Gonade, described what is going on at the market as fraudulent, noting that most of the structures fail integrity tests at near site. Dr. Gonade said that the market leadership must immediately provide the master plan and approval for every structure or risk having all the marked structures pulled down.
We are acting on the information we receive because we are not in every market. We expect the leadership of the market to be in partnership with us. But the leadership of this market is clearly not in partnership with the government. The fingers are pointed at him that he's the one with his cabals, the ones selling off these places. And plots of portions of places in the markets, empty places in the markets, have been sold for 40, 30, 50 million to developers. This is not in the master plan. What we are seeing here, over 100 buildings going on at the same time without any single approval. I'm here with the chairman of the person that is in control of giving approval, and he's very, very surprised at what is going here, and he's very, very disappointed. So I think the level of impunity of what is going on here, I've never seen in any part of the world before.
On his part, the Managing Director of Awka Capital Territory Development Authority, ACTDA, Venerable Amechi Kwosa, said that the master plan will inform the decision of the agency on structures that do not fall within the circumference of the market. Venerable Kwosa stated that while the market has a period of 7 days to come up with the master plan, demolition is not ruled out.
It is difficult to just come in and start knocking down houses without knowing the demarcations and the boundaries. So it's quite unfortunate that the level of carelessness or fraud within the leadership of this market. It's very obvious to me now that part of the areas that they said that they are not part of the market, that they are actually part of the market. And we've marked the whole areas now, and we're giving them a short notice to provide either the approval or they will give us the master plan. Failure to do that, we are going to calm down heavily on them.
A team from the ACTDA was also at Isua Nocha, Awka North local government area, where it pulled down the fencing of a property for flouting removal orders because it was obstructing an approved pathway. In Awka, Daniel Ezigwe, ABS News.
According to official figures, malaria accounts for the highest percentage of child and maternal deaths in Nigeria, where it reaches 30% of and 11% of deaths each year. As such, any attempt to reduce child and maternal mortality in any society must start with ending and rolling back malaria. Correspondent David Okwasile reports speaks to nursing mother and other caregivers to see how receiving the free insecticide-treated nets from the state government is helping them protect their children from malaria. His report.
For the past few days, the Anambra State government, in collaboration with her partners, Malaria Consortium, National Malaria Elimination Program and GiveWell Open Philanthropic Funding have been distributing insecticide-treated nets free of cost to households in the state as a means to reduce the incidence and spread of malaria. This statewide exercise strategically falls into the vision of the state government to reduce child mortality in the state through providing access to affordable health care and preventing mosquito bites that give malaria, which the insecticide-treated nets help to guarantee. This is instructive, as Governor Chukwuma Soludo highlighted on June 8 when he flagged off the distribution of 3.8 million insecticide-treated nets in the state. How can this vision of ensuring that children who are under age 5 are protected from malaria? Do nursing mothers, pregnant women and other caregivers understand the need to sleep inside insecticide-treated nets?
Ihe kụziri anyị bụ na ilu eketa na aka ịgbasa anyị ọkụ ihe dị ka 12 echi niile obi dị m ụtarị nne ihe obi dị m ụtarị nne bụ na nwunye nwa m ọmụrụ nwa anyị ga anwụ ana-ata na ijiji a na-efegharị anyị na-asị ka anyị esi wee lie mụ na nwunye nwa m nọ na-ediskọs ya na palọ akụ bel mpụta uwe anụchata ife ekwu na a na-eke net nkunye ya nwa gbapụtaba ọsọ
nke ọsọ wede m na ọ dị obi m dum aṅụrị ka esonye anyị maka net asafụ anyị jụọ na anyị dị na-ewe nara wọtago so anya ncha na-esef ụta ara wenye anyị na jese haụs na nwa ncha nne dị obi na anyị ụtọ ka ochi wee rute anyị aka wee kụzi aka esi yuzu ya na abụ na anyị dị ego dị akịta na anọghị tomorrow yeri ka echi something ebe 12 o'clock before you use everything ebe anyị do mmiri rutukwa ya.
Meanwhile, others, including Mr. Kate Kwibekwe, thanked the state government, Malaria Consortium and other partners for giving them the nets.
Nke gosi na gọọmenti nọkịta bụ gọọmenti na-eleta ndị mmadụ ka arụsị ike wee na-adị. So obi bụ m sọ aṅụrị. Sọ ekele gọvanọ anyị bụ Soludo na ihe ụmụ niile ọ na-eme ka o jisi ike ka Chukwu wee gbakwanye mbe ka na-elotekwa ndị ọ na-achị.
The distribution of the mosquito nets, which began August 7th, continues across the state as residents are encouraged to come out at sounds like this around their vicinities to take their free insecticide-treated nets. From Federal Housing Estate, GRA Onitsha, I am David Okwasi reporting for ABS News.
The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, says now is the time to re-engage the citizenry to reinvent nationhood for a better Nigeria. The president and chairman of Council of the Institute, Malam Mukta Zuberu Sirajo, made the assertion in a press briefing ahead of the Citizen Summit for National Integration, Peace and Security Build for next week in Abuja. ABS Abuja Bureau Chief Princess Ekwiyajide has details.
Summit, according to him, is a product of research conducted by the Governing Council of the Institute to identify factors responsible for recent sad developments in the country, whose outcome revealed a widening trust deficit at 3 levels between government and the citizens and among the various ethnic and sociocultural groups, thereby weakening trust and unity amongst citizens. Malam Mukhtar noted that no nation thrives or progresses in an atmosphere of distrust, and since the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, recognizes trust as a key element in nation building and the role of dialogue in societal well-being and development, and has decided to take up the challenge of rebuilding the broken trust through reopening channels of effective dialogue and development-oriented conversation. It is reopening conversation to rebuild trust.
We must change the paradigm on how we engage the citizens and the techniques of dialogue. Government must learn modern art of citizen engagement And the people must, on the other hand, appreciate the fact that the task of nation building is a collective responsibility in which the citizens too have great roles to play.
He emphasized that they are aware that the task of rebuilding Nigeria is enormous and demanding, and as such are ready to partner with government and other well-meaning Nigerians, individuals and corporations to drive the process to a logical conclusion, noting that so far they are partnering 70 organizations. The NIP said the need for effective national mediation, reconciliation and investment in peace building for national integration, re-engaging and including the Nigerian youths, women and people with disabilities in leadership and governance so as to strive for balance, equity, fairness and justice as a way of life are part of what the summit intends to achieve.
The summit will address at the plenary issues such as Nigeria, where we missed it, the need to rethink. It will also look into the path of reinventing our nationhood, rebuilding trust, and enabling the culture and practice of non-violent communication. The whole idea of the summit is to activate the process of rebuilding a new Nigeria that works, based on raising the new Nigerians that will build the new Nigeria. A nation that will be governed by strong national values that promote oneness and equity among the diverse people of the country.
In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide, ABS News.
And moving on to our national stories now, the federal government has attributed the shortage in gas supply for its inability to reach promised target of 5,000 megawatts of electricity generation. It also said the inauguration of the Governing Board of Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, would only take place when the outcome of the forensic audit report it instituted was concluded. Briefing State House correspondent at the end of the weekly Federal Executive Council FEC meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Council Chamber, Presidential Villa. Minister of Power Abubakar Aliyu said, whereas government had entered into a firm contract with the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading NBET PLC, power generation had remained around 4,000 megawatts because of the problem of gas. He, however, assured that every necessary ingredient had now been obtained to resolve the problem, saying his ministry was working round the clock to improve the situation. The minister said FEC approved 2.4 billion naira revised estimates for the updated rates of building structures of compensation and resettlement of the communities affected by the construction of 700 megawatts Zungeru hydroelectric power project. The amount revises the subsisting amount from 19 billion 640 million to 22 billion naira 380 million naira. On the foreign scene, the White House has said a new type of COVID-19 vaccine specially designed to protect against the Omicron BA4 and BA5 subvariants will be available next month. White House COVID-19 response coordinator Dr. Ash Jihar said if the shots meet FDA standards, they will likely be available in early to mid-September. The Biden administration is currently trying to get out of the acute emergency phase where the U.S. government is buying the vaccine, treatment, and diagnostic test. Separately, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden tested positive for COVID-19 and is experiencing mild symptoms, her spokesperson said Tuesday. This was after President Joe Biden also tested positive for the COVID-19 and had to be isolated even as he has recovered. On sports news, the NOC have named 4 latest recipients of ANOCA Athlete Support Program for Paris 2024, with the athletes all regarded as prospects for the Paris Olympic Games. President of Nigeria Olympic Committee NOC, Engineer Habel Gumel, who is also ANOCA Treasurer General, announced Anakwachi Chukwebuka Athletics, Kolawole Esther Omolayo Wrestling, Obunne Ezejoy Weightlifting, and Olarinoye Adijet Adenike weightlifting as the recipients. Gumel said that the funds would support their goal of competing in the Olympic Games. The 4 Nigerian athletes are among the 50 athletes chosen by ANOCA as the commission predicted the allocation process on performance criteria and sports and Olympic ethnics. The ANOCA Athlete Support Program aims to provide support for the preparation and qualification of elite athletes with the potential to qualify and perform well at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And that's it on the news this morning. But remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Oka. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Well, and just before we go this morning, a quick look at our major stories. State government has begun road rehabilitation in Okpoko. Now, over 50 structures at Umuopu Timber Market have been marked for breach of master plan. Federal government has identified shortage of gas supply as obstacle to electricity generation target. The foreign scene we brought to you that the U.S. is to roll out new COVID-19 vaccine against Omicron. And here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's the size of our package this morning. Many thanks for joining the bulletin. I'm Iberi Ugodina. Good morning. Anambra continue shortly. Please stay with us.